Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Deepening the Presence 5-day meditation retreat, I decided to call it. My name is Tomek. I'm a teacher here on Insight Timer, a meditator myself, and most importantly, a seeker like yourself, very much interested in deepening the presence and discovering my true self. So thank you for joining me today, and I give you a second or two to settle in and to get ready for this session, day one of 5-day meditation retreat, I decided to call it. How are you? I already see familiar faces. Hello, Caroline. Good to see you here. Hello, Debbie. Hello, Sandy. Hello, Kathy from Boston. Nima, very good to see you. Leslie. Mary. Hello, Diane. So good to see you here. Natalie from Germany. Natalia. Hello, Natalia. I decided to start a bit earlier here. I'm in Sydney, in Australia. 6:30 in the morning, that some of you in Europe can catch it late in the evening, and those of you who are in the US also have a chance to see this live session in the afternoon. I think both evening meditations and afternoon meditations are very beneficial, so this is my purpose. Hello, Jasmine. Jasmine, I'm planning this session to be no longer than 45 minutes. So speaking of that, I will start with a short introduction, what this 5-day meditation retreat is all about. And then we will jump into meditation, which will I guide, and hopefully during which we will deepen the presence. And I will explain why deepening the presence is the topic of today's session and the next 4 sessions from Monday to Friday. But before we start, I'd be curious to know who is here for the first time. Please raise your hand. And for those of you who are regulars, please welcome everyone, every first timer here. I always want to extend my special warm welcome to those of you who are here for the first time. Hello, Pauline. Good to see you. Leslie's from Queensland. Good. That's now New South Wales and Queensland. We are on the same time, so it's much easier. Mary, here for the first time. Listen to my SOS meditation. Beautiful. Eileen, also for the first time. Welcome. We have Karen from Nova Scotia, Canada. Okay. So deepening the presence. Why I have chosen this topic. It is very much related to what I am going through and what is important to me. But I hope, and it is intention of this retreat, to help you also. And I hope that this will resonate with you as well. So what I found in striving to achieve different things personally and professionally, I've realized that most, if not all, of my projects come from the deep sense of presence. And everything seems to be aligning much easier when I allow myself to relax into that underlying presence that is always there in me. And what I mean by that, I don't mean that as a vague spiritual saying, but something that is very tangible and concrete that we can get an access to and feel it and embrace it. So the way I understand it and the way I perceive it is that there are many layers to our life and many layers to our personality. There is that everyday personality when we are doers, when we are hands-on, allow ourselves to be engaged in our work, in our life, being parents, putting a head on a professional, having a job title. And this is all very important. This is our human, so to speak, personality. Our personality that helps us to get along. But underneath that, there's also a human being, which sheer focus is on simple presence rather than doing anything and achieving. And that part of us, I believe, in the modern times is very much hidden. And I wouldn't say forgotten, because you cannot forget something that is part of you, or it is you, it is essence of you. But I believe that it is put aside. And you may hear a lot about people who are spiritual, and they say, it is all good to be spiritual, but this is not the time to be spiritual. Now it's time to pay your bills, to raise your kids, to do your job, and in a spare time, perhaps, only perhaps, there will be some time to meditate, to connect with that something, that mysterious self, and relax. Because relaxation, after all the striving and performing all these tasks that are also important, at least we are made believe that they are so important, the only thing left for you is to relax. And hence all the relaxation music and relaxing meditations are so popular on Insight Timer. But they do not necessarily focus, not always, on the core of my teaching, and I believe most of the teachers, they call them spiritual teachers, focus on deepening the presence, or which is the essence of who you are. So rather than thinking about yourself as first and foremost, the doer and the achiever, I decided for myself, and maybe this is an invitation for you to consider that, to start thinking about myself more as a human being. And what comes from it, it's actually very interesting, because even though my focus shifts from doing to being, my doing benefits from it tremendously. Because when I realize, when I focus on the present moment and deepen my meditation and relax into meditation, allow that deeper essence of me come forth, all those other parts of me that I thought they are the most important part, they benefit from it too. So it seems to me my conclusion and an intention for the retreat is to come back, or through our meditation practice, to which I will guide you to, discover or deepen that very presence that all the doing, in my experience, are coming from. And altogether, make it a holistic approach. Don't discard one and focus on the other, but actually bring all of it together and see how it works. Is it going to be better for you? Is this approach, is this tactic, even so to speak, better for you? Or perhaps it's not going to work for you. The only way to find out is to practice it. So if you have any questions about what I'm talking about, feel free to put them in a comment section. Oh, hello, Sharon. As I was talking, quite a few of you just joined us. That's fantastic. So once again, it is an intention of this 5-day retreat to help you connect on a deeper level with that human being that is inside. Because once again, from my experience and as I read all the literature that on personal and spiritual development, it seems to me that the life as we know it happens. We always thought that the doing creates the being, right? So we have from the level, it's so-called a bottom up. So you do and you create the wealth through performing various tasks, and then you become that radiant being. But what I find actually is the opposite. Then once I connect to that essence, underlying essence that is there, I found that all the doing that I'm so focused on, at least my ego identity is focused on, flows much easier and smoother. And I call it the bottom to top to bottom approach, where focusing on the overarching presence creates my daily reality and helps all the tasks and everything that we have to achieve and to do. It helps all those things flow much better. So, without further ado, I'd like to guide you to a meditation that focuses on that very underlying essence that is big part of all. It's a major part of all of you. And I want you to experience it yourself and find out for yourself, how does it work for you? If you are anything like myself, and I think most of the people, you will find that getting to the presence and stillness is not always an easy thing. And it is not easy simply because we are overwhelmed in our daily life with many different layers of our existence which are focused on being. So what you will find simply is a lot of thoughts, a lot of emotions. There'll be external sounds. There'll be aches and itches in your body, and many things that will compete for our awareness as we try to go a bit deeper into the presence. But worry not. We are here to face those challenges together. And if you meditated before, and I believe because you are here, you already have a certain understanding that this is absolutely normal. All those things that we are preoccupied with will come to the forefront of your experience at first. But with a little bit effort and patience, they slowly will start subsiding. I will invite you to do a breath meditation, which means that every time that you find yourself drifting, your awareness drifting to and being focused on whether it's a thinking or bodily sensations or anything, but presence and stillness, you simply return yourself to your breath gently and calmly, knowing that the essence of you sits underneath all those personality structures. It is always there. It's not a matter if, it's matter how to get there. And again, our tool will be persistence, patience, and I also hope, since this is our retreat, it will be your help and your presence and your support, you being the co-creator and you being the focal point of this retreat, contributing in a unique way to this meditation. Teresa asks, how do we know you have reached your inner presence? That's actually, thank you for this question. This is a wonderful, wonderful question. And I will answer this way. If you have to ask whether you reach the presence, you are not there. It is as simple as that. You do not wait for the presence to arise, but once you're there, there's no doubt. You know you are there. So I will leave you with that. And see if you will be able to get there. And if you don't, since this is a 5-day meditation retreat, we have 5 days to deepening, to practicing that very thing that we talk about. Thing that is very indescribable, quite frankly. It is impossible with words to really describe what it is. However, when you get there, all those words that I just said, they just fall into place. But without that experience, none of those words that I just said will matter. So let us jump into practice and set our compass towards inner self, at least what we consider inner self, but towards the experience of inner self rather than description of it. Okay. So there's no other way of starting this practice but by acknowledging that right here, right now, we are in the present moment. As most of the meditation teachers would joke, asked about what time is it, they would say, it is now. And it is an undeniable truth of every meditation that we are in the now. It is only a matter whether we acknowledging that, or we want to acknowledge that, or maybe we are preoccupied and by those other layers of existence, being somewhere in the anticipating future or in the past. But right now, I want you to acknowledge the simple fact that you are here in front of the screen, connecting with so many of us from around the world. And we are about to start a journey within. So in order to start this journey, I will ask you to allow your eyes to close. And by that, you will switch off the major input of information that flows to you through your vision, through your eyes. And that simple fact will force your attention internally. The external gaze become the internal gaze. And what you will find is certain sensations in your body, feelings, various perceptions. Some of them pleasant, some of them unpleasant. And right here at the beginning, I want you to acknowledge them the way they are. This is the layer of your physicality, the inner senses. If in any way you are uncomfortable, feel free to adjust your position in the way to minimize this physical discomfort. And as you're dropping in, recognize now that after the physical layer of your experience, there is a mental layer. There is thinking that sometimes comes in the form of a quiet whisper, and some other times, like in my case, a big voice, big booming voice, providing commentary to what is happening. And now you may want to ask yourself, is that commentary necessary to experience the present moment? And another question you may ask yourself, am I the commentary? Am I identified with this voice? Am I my thoughts? Am I my bodily sensations? Or perhaps there's something else. And this is a question I would want you to answer by yourself, personally, individually. I can only give you a tool to do it. And the tool of this meditation will be your breath. That is always there, always present. If you're aware of your breathing, you are always right here, right now, because you cannot breathe in the future nor in the past. The breath always comes from the present moment. So if your awareness is drawn towards bodily sensations, if it's identified with the commentary, your thoughts, then you have a choice of bringing yourself back to your breath, knowing that by doing so, you will be in the present moment. That is the ultimate gateway to deepening the presence. And then within this process, you will be led astray by the very commentary, by those bodily sensations, by external distractions. And this is absolutely okay. We are not here to change it. We are not here to change the external world, nor the fact that you are physical being as much as spiritual being. You simply, for this short period of this meditation, choose to direct your awareness to the spaces between the words, if you will. And be curious. What is there? It seems simple, but it is not easy. Your mind will wander, and that's okay. I'm always here to bring you back. I'm always here by your side to help you return from wherever you are or wherever you were to the present moment. That is my job here. And as you continue coming back to your breath, to the present moment, you may notice that your perception softens a bit, becomes slowly more refined, and you no longer need that much effort to bring yourself to the present moment. As things gradually soften, this return becomes easier and easier. Your breath may slow down. The perception softens even more. And there's less and less resistance. And even though thoughts and emotions, bodily sensations are still there, it is easier to sit with them as you start experiencing this very moment from a different level. Thinking is no longer the main viewpoint. It's no longer the main source, but subsides into the background. And slowly you feel a bit lighter, as if you put behind a heavy burden that has been weighing on you for a long time. It feels as if you start a brand new day. New perspective. Not changing the reality around you, but developing new eyes. And through those new eyes, everything looks a bit lighter. Less abusive. Less concrete. And the muscles in your body respond to that presence. You may find that your shoulders dropped away from your ears. That your muscles relaxed even deeper. Maybe there is a less tension. Perhaps the tension that you have never noticed suddenly appears. And you ask yourself, was I that heavy all that time? And you simply allow that heaviness to be there, seeing it from this perspective for the first time. From the perspective of presence. Presence that is non-judgmental. And in case that if your mind still tortures you with all those thoughts, use your breath as the anchor and as a place to which you can retreat. And make each breath a practice. How much can it be contained within a single breath? And now it is time to return. So you are still in the present moment, but right now I will ask you to direct your awareness from that perspective of the present moment. Direct it back towards your physical senses and see for yourself what difference does it make. Simply be aware of your physical senses, space around you. Your sit bones on the chair. It is still you, but perspective has changed. And there's no need to abandon that very perspective. You simply bring yourself back. Now being present to the physicality of things, to the physical senses. Being acutely aware of your physical body, its boundaries, and the way you connect through your body with the physical world and the space around you. And now I will ask you to start making a small movement, starting with your toes, and see how that feels. You may add a slow movement of your fingers, still being very present, coming to the body sensations and those basic functions, movement of your muscles. And now slowly and gently tilt your head to the left and feel all the sensations that come with that gentle tilt. Maybe muscles in your neck, feeling heaviness of your head. Tilt your head to the right. And again, stretching of your neck, heaviness of your head. Now back to the center. And as we usually do, finish up with one deep cleansing breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And when you're ready, open your eyes and welcome back. Beautiful. So this is Deepening Presence. It certainly felt to me that I'm coming to you from a different place. And I always check in with myself during those live sessions. How is my belly? How's my chest? How is my voice? At the start of every session, there's always a anticipation. There is a hint of anxiety, and that always competes for the presence with me as I try to ground myself. So this is a continuous process, a dance between different functions of your mind and your body and the presence. And for me, the secret is how to bring all those together so they no longer in competition, but they collaborate to support your moment-to-moment well-being. And this is my intention for you for this session and for the next for the entire week of meditating and deepening that presence and strengthening that connection between the self and the body and the mind, that even though they sometimes feel separate, they are not separate. They flow from the essence of you. They are you, and they are just one expression of you, not entirety of it. And that's the realization that I'm hoping for you to come to on your own, in your own terms. Good morning, Basha. Good to see you here. Yeah, Nima says my voice is usually lower and deeper after session. That's how I feel. If you wish to listen to the recording of this session, I usually put those on my YouTube channel later on. And feel free to compare the way I speak at the beginning of the session and after meditation. And maybe this is going to be a better indication of what I mean. Or even like Nima, try it for yourself. How do you speak before and after meditation? Well, thank you all for being here and for meditating with me and participating in this online Insight Timer retreat. Thank you, Debbie, for your kind donation. I'm very grateful for your support always, but most importantly for your presence here. This is the most important aspect of being here on Insight Timer, connecting with you and expanding the presence, raising the consciousness, collective consciousness, so we can live better, more fulfilled life, more empowered life, and be acutely aware of all those components, the thinking and doing, that compete very often for our awareness. Thank you so much, Pauline. I really appreciate it. So tomorrow, the same time, the same place, I hope you can join me so we can continue this practice. It is nature of every practice that repetition makes this better and easier. And you will be able to discover deeper and deeper levels as you continue practicing. So please set up your timer and click the attend button. That will hopefully send you a reminder of the next session. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at the same time, and once again meditate with you with the intention of deepening our presence and coming from the deeper self. So for now, I'd like to thank you for being here, for meditating with me, and as I said, I look forward to meditating with you tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye.